I feel an impalement coming on. Oh yeah, that's not good. And you don't want to pull that out, especially in the abdomen, because most likely what you're gonna end up is with internal bleeding and you're gonna die. I think even in a survival situation, being humane is really important. You are taking a life. Do it quickly. Or a bite in the ear. You know what? Whatever it takes. You do you, Laura. Well played, Laura. Well played. Hi, I'm Kinga Phillips. My background is journalism, anthropology, and not dying in the wilderness. Now, today we are playing Tomb Raider 2013. I'm super excited about this because as a kid, I really wanted to be Lara Croft. I always wanted to be Laura, just maybe with a more practical outfit. We are starting off in the thick of it. She has obviously been captured, bound, and hung upside down. Never been my experience in a survival situation. Hope not to be. Oh, there's dead bodies around. Probably not a good start. So what we know is she is on an island. I believe the backstory is that there was a boat that sank. She made it to an island. And obviously there are some people who have some ill intentions towards her. So not only are you contending with survival on an island, probably looking to see if your friends are still alive, but also you have people that want you dead. Ooh, I feel an impalement coming on. Oh yeah, that's not good. Impalements are bad. They're really bad. Generally, you want to protect that and you don't want to pull that out, especially in the abdomen, because most likely what you're gonna end up is with internal bleeding and you're gonna die. The reality is that you also can't walk around with something impaled into your stomach, especially in this situation. That is, wow, ambitious and aggressive. So she just pulled out an impalement from her abdomen and she is climbing up a plane. Go, Laura, look at you. I would say that in a standard survival situation, you probably don't want to be this ambitious. I mean, we know that she is trying to outrun the people who are wanting to kill her and maybe find her friends, but probably no time to show off. I mean, your phone probably doesn't even work. You can't even Instagram yourself doing all this. And if you can't Instagram it, no one knows about it, don't do it. She is injured. She is bleeding from her impalement, probably also has some other scratches. I'm assuming she is wet and cold. She's got a single match. You gotta be good with that match. Probably the most important thing with building a fire is kindling. So you want to amass that kindling, make sure the fire has enough oxygen. She's got a standard fire going on there. Built yourself a bonfire. Well played, Laura. Well played. Fires are good. One of the first three things that you want to consider in a survival situation: shelter, fire, water. The psychological effect of that. Speaking of psychological effects, here's a dead body hanging. Laura ambitiously wants to salvage things off of this body. So there she goes. That seems like a weak branch to be standing on. I see a waterfall in the background. There you have some running water. Now, for hydration, you do want to always boil your water, but if you don't have the option to do that, running water like a waterfall is generally preferable to stagnant water. Oh, she could use the underwire in that bra for a snare for small animals. I'm sure there's enough of it. Or she could just shoot it with her bow and arrow. Bow and arrow, great if you know how to use it, and she clearly does. She just took down a deer. She's got meat for days. Oh, poor thing. I think even in a survival situation, being humane is really important. You are taking a life. Do it quickly. With big game like this, actually with any game, you want to bleed it out. So cut its neck, bleed it out. It won't taint the meat then. Gut it, take out the innards. You want to eat the heart, you want to eat the liver, okay. There are other bits and pieces, but the intestines especially you want to get rid of. And there are so many things that you can use all of these animal parts for, from the bones to the skin, the hide, the teeth, the antlers. Killed the deer and she left it. She's like, you know what? I'm not feeling like venison. I'm just gonna see if I can find something else. Maybe there's like a vegan burger around. Oh, there's a bear trap, right? That might have just snapped her ankle. That would be bad news. You want some first aid skills if that happens. Gotta be able to set it. And there's something coming through the grass. This is a bad day in the survival world. Very bad day. It's a wolf. You know, all these survival games, I'm gonna have to write a strongly worded letter about all these wolf attacks in survival games. Really, that just doesn't happen. But if it did, Laura is gonna take care of it. Okay, so Laura has now taken out multiple wolves. That's a lot of wolf meat and a lot of wolf hide. You can make yourself a wolf skin cap. She's having a rough day. So far we have her boat sinking. She's been tied up upside down. She's been impaled, been attacked by wolves. One of her friends is alive. That's good companionship. Positive mental attitude. Having your friends alive with you, and you've got 3 of them. This is great. Friends are so useful for freeing you from bear traps. He's got a machete. That is a great thing to have. As a matter of fact, if I had to have one survival item on me, it would be a knife or a machete. Super, super useful.
Who are you people? What do you want with us?
Lara! If they give you any trouble, kill them.
Wait, now she's tied to a tree? Her day is really going downhill. She's gonna have to say a lot of positive affirmations to turn this one around. Okay, so we've got bad guys, we've got good guys, we've got wolves. Nothing makes a survival situation worse than people trying to kill you, but at least you've got fire. It's got fire, you're gonna stay warm. You're gonna be able to dry your clothing, cook some food, purify some water. Always look on the bright side. And look how handy you have rope that your wrists just happen to be tied with. Rope is so useful in survival situations. Gonna wanna hang on to that. I don't think you have a choice right now. See a lot of plants, see a lot of trees. It's a really lovely environment. I hope she's taking it all in. It's a ready-made shelter for you. See moss on those stones. Moss is edible in a pinch. So is grass, so are pine needles, so is the inner pine bark. This real bummer about people trying to kill you, you know? It just seems like such a lovely area and really a lot to offer in the survival space, but real dampen on your day when people are shooting at you and the whole forest is on fire. Although, no better way to signal for help than by setting the entire forest on fire. Again, silver linings, Laura, silver linings. See if she can talk her way out of that one. Ooh, he doesn't seem very friendly at all. I think he needs a swift kick in the groinal area. Or a bite in the ear. You know what? Whatever it takes. You do you, Laura. Grab the rope. You're going to want that. Oh, and the gun. Yeah, definitely want the gun. Just shot him in the stomach. That should really take him out. And when it does, you take his coat because that's going to keep you warm. Looks like nice leather. Could even eat that in a pinch. Probably not going to survive that. It's more than a flesh wound. All right, take his coat, go through his pockets. Maybe he has a knife on him. See, Laura has an earring there. You could use that as a fish hook in a pinch for fishing. Probably not feeling very well. I mean, she did get impaled earlier. Might be some infection setting in. Should probably take a load off and rest for a while. Maybe wash herself up a little bit from all that blood. Gonna hang on to that bow and arrow. It's good, yeah. Hunt some food, kill some enemies. Oh, what is that? Is that a hyena? No, it's another wolf. And he clearly likes human flesh. Not like most wolves, they really don't. We're kind of like a cucumber sandwich to them. Kind of gross. This guy, he's all about it. Look at that. An all-you-can-eat buffet of Homo sapiens in there. There she goes again, putting herself in unnecessary risk. Don't do that in a survival situation. But it is always a good idea to get to a high point and take a look at your surroundings. Maybe there's a road, maybe you can see your friends, maybe you can signal from up there. It kind of gives you a bird's eye view of where you are. I think that's what she's doing here. I like that her arm where there's a scrape is wrapped up, but her side where there was a gaping wound really isn't. Priorities. Oh, there's birds circling. Really beautiful up there. Crows, snowfall. Now, we should probably talk about hypothermia here. She's wearing a tank top and it's snowing. Hypothermia is going to be a real concern in this kind of environment, considering it can set in as little as a couple minutes. And she has no gloves, no coat. Her clothing was wet from what I remember. She's bleeding, so she's had blood loss, probably some trauma. Body's probably in shock. Quite honestly, it's not looking good for Lara. I told her to take that coat from that dude she shot in the face. Should have listened. Where are you going, Lara? You know, it's also really important to remember when you're climbing, if you're going to have to come back down, it's very often much easier to go up than it is to come back down. A lot of people get stuck because they climb, and then they can't get back down. But here she is on top of the world without a coat in freezing cold weather. Looking pretty in survival situations is really important. No, it's not. I'm just kidding.
All right, find the emergency channel.
An emergency channel, this is good. You can call for help. Come on, Lara, you got this. So again, in most survival situations, whether it's a plane crash or a boat wreck, you're gonna wanna stay still. You're gonna wanna sit there, light a signal fire, build yourself a shelter, get some water, and someone's probably gonna find you really quickly. But if you're on a mythical island, that's a whole other game.
We are stranded on an island in the Dragon's Triangle. We need help and medical supplies. Please respond.
Medical supplies would be good. You've been impaled.
This is aircraft Nautilus 1.
Ah, aircraft. Coming to get ya.
Your approximate position, we could sure use a visual.
I'll figure something out.
We'll be heading your way soon.
Sure, you could use a visual. You're sitting on a tower with a flashing light. Is this flint and steel? Is she gonna start a fire? What's happening now, Lara? Ah, she's got a torch. That's exactly what she did. Got herself a little spark, had some kindling, and now she is back out into the wilderness. A fire's gonna keep you warm too, since you don't have a coat and it's freezing cold outside. Why don't you build yourself a signal fire? There you go, Lara. Nothing says signal fire like an explosion. Just gonna say it's a sight for sore eyes, but this is bad, and it's coming right at you. All kinds of bad. Explosive plane with spinning propellers coming right at you. Bad day. They're surviving a plane crash, and then they're surviving a plane crashing on you. Those are two totally different things. Neither one of them is a good day, but you know, there might be a lot of things that you can salvage out of there. Looking on the bright side, silver linings. Look at all this wood that you can set on fire. Build shelter out of that. She got some splinters from that, and splinters can get infected. Guessing that's the least of her worries at this point, but worth noting. Has she eaten? What happened to that deer? I could go for some venison right now. Nothing makes me more hungry than a plane crashing on me. Lara has now survived a plane crashing on her, and here comes someone in a parachute. This is good because we know that this is a friend. Plus, the silk from that parachute is really useful, as is the cord. Can you get to your new friend as this building collapses into the abyss? Of course. I personally would worry about twisted ankles, but you know, Lara doesn't worry about things like that. I really admire her stamina. Exerting a lot of energy in survival situations is normally not a good thing, but I'll let it slide. Oh, she just felt her stomach. I think she just remembered that she was impaled a couple minutes ago. Easy to forget, you know? I'm always like, oh, I got impaled this morning at 9. Now it's 4 o'clock. I forgot about it. Oh, suddenly you are fighting a guy with a shield. Okay. All these people that you kill. All right, so that was Tomb Raider, and that was a super fun game, although I have to say from a survival standpoint, if it was anyone other than Lara Croft, they would be dead, because she is very ambitious, very active, and also very impaled. She would have bled out. But it was a great game, tons of fun, and we thank you for joining us. For more Gamology videos, visit us on Facebook and YouTube. Lara. Lara. Laura. Go, Laura. Well played, Laura. Silver linings, Laura. Laura is gonna take care of it. It's not looking good for Laura. Where are you going, Laura? What's happening now, Laura? Lara Croft.